a lot of history. I was excited to talk to you because you got a great story. We talked to Nico, similarly, like crazy story. And so we'll just start from the beginning, if you don't mind. Bulgarian national to some extent. So I just want to hear that whole story. I have friends that are Bulgarian that came over what I assume is a similar time to your parents. So I was just curious about that whole connection.
Yeah, so both my parents are Bulgarian. My whole extended family lives in Bulgaria. My mom and dad now live in Savannah, Georgia, where I was born and raised, along with my sister. She now lives in LA. But yeah, my dad grew up in a city called Sliven, Bulgaria. Met my mom there. He kind of went to school and then turned professional at 16, 17, I think, one of those two ages. Played 1 or 2 years there, wanted to find a better life in the US, got a full scholarship to the University of Mobile, Alabama. Played there for a little bit, and then he moved to Savannah because Savannah had an indoor, indoor team called the Savannah Rugrats. And they played at a place called the Civic Center in Savannah, where I'm from. But yeah, then he moved to Savannah, and then, but yeah, that's pretty much it. My grandpa also played, may he rest in peace, but my grandpa also played professionally in Bulgaria for a while. So it kind of runs in the family, and yeah, I'm very, very proud to be Bulgarian, as well as I'm proud to be American. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we don't have time to go into it, but my Bulgarian friends made sure I knew about the World Cup history in Bulgaria. So people should look it up if they haven't.
1994 USA semifinals, lost in the semifinals against Italy against a crap goal, is what everybody likes to say, which I agree with.
Turns out we had time for it. That was very fast. Well done. But yeah, so at a young age, you got involved with IMG Academy, a few other academies, Tormenta. I thought that was interesting. And so let's start from there. Like, what was that like playing with the youth national teams as well?
Yeah, so IMG Academy, I moved there when I was 13 years old. It was a big decision, but I thought if I stayed in Savannah, there wasn't that big of a soccer scene there. It was more of Atlanta was the big soccer city in Georgia. Savannah's getting bigger. But yeah, I decided to go to IMG from there. Prior to that, I was with Tormenta, or what is now known as Tormenta, which was a really good experience. I left just as they started to become a USL team. So I left just before they started to kind of creep into that realm. But yeah, I enjoyed my time there. IMG was awesome. They have an unreal campus. I don't know if you've been, but like the campus is crazy. Played there for a year and a half, then straight from there went to residency with John Hackworth. I'm gonna name drop him because I love Hack. But I was with Hack for a year and a half with the U17s. Went to the World Cup in India, and yeah, and then I kind of got my opportunity with Villa, and I was there for 6 years. But St. Louis, came calling, and I think it's a really, really good project. St. Louis finally has an MLS team, which I think everybody here was dying for, and it's really exciting as for all the players to see the buzz that's going around here. Yeah, I don't want to lead off to too many different things, but that was kind of.
Yeah, I know. I love that, and I want to hear about what it was like. You did that living at IMG, without your family, and then doing the World Cup, and then going straight to England. And you've been there until the last couple seasons with Miami. So I just kind of want to hear like what it's like living without family and even your experience playing soccer in England.
Yeah, it's not easy. I don't think it will be easy for anybody, especially if you're close with family. I was really close with my mom, my dad, my sister. It's not easy. Like, I know people like to, we are professional athletes, and that's great, and I'm so grateful to be one. But at the same time, I left when I was 13, 14 years old. And I kind of missed those years where, like, with my mom and my dad and my sister kind of growing up as a family. I mean, it was difficult. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, it was a great time, I was playing well. Because even when I would play well, it was still, you still want to be with family. Obviously, when you get to 18, 19, and you live with your family for 18 years, you're finally like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to leave. But for me, I never really had that. I had, like, 13 years with my family. So it was really, really difficult. I mean, it made us closer, which is awesome. And I love everybody in my family, mom, dad, sister included. But yeah, it was really, really difficult. But obviously, it got me to where I am today. So, I mean, I'm grateful I went through that process. In terms of soccer in England, or football in England, so fast-paced. I mean, it's like so fast-paced. But then again, you kind of have to adapt and get used to it. I was there for 6 years. So, yeah, I mean, I adapted, I got used to it, and it was a really good experience. And take those experiences with me here, and I'm excited to start a new chapter here, and try and help the team the best that I can.
A lot of people call it a grind, and you got to experience that grind, really. Like several loans, playing with the U18s, U21s for Aston Villa, some Premier League games.
Yeah.
Any lessons learned, any experience or memories, awesome memories, hard memories that you'd like to share?
Not too many, and they were really good memories. I just think that the one thing that I did take out of all of it, which is what everybody who's a little bit older tells you, and when you're younger and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But it's like really, really enjoying and really taking those experiences, and I'm trying to word it correctly, but it's just enjoying the moment is kind of what I want to say, because I was there and I did it, and that won't ever happen again. But the fact that I enjoyed it when I was there, it was such a blissful experience. As hard as it was like so nice that so much hard work finally pays off, and you get to be even when I was on the bench in a Premier League game, you're like, oh my God, like you were so happy. And then I made an appearance and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, just enjoying the moment. I mean, there's not one really moment that sticks out. Maybe my debut, maybe my Prem debut, but yeah, just like enjoying the moment and really taking everything in. Which wise here, I don't think I'll ever play for a first-time franchise again. Like this is a whole unique experience that everybody is trying to take it in. And I mean, I just turned 22, but I'm trying to tell the young guy, Miggy, the new homegrown, take it all in, because it's only going to happen kind of once. So that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, so you did decide to come back to the United States, and you were still on loan at Miami, which is interesting. I'm kind of curious, what made you decide to come back here and also to be settled and actually signed to a club and not on loan? I don't know if that's a relief or not, but I'm curious about how you feel about MLS so far.
Yeah, I think people in Europe really like to see the MLS and go, oh, it's just the US league, blah, 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 It's not that good of a league, not that good technically, not that good physically. And I don't think I need to speak on it too much, because I think the transfers over the past couple of years from the MLS to European clubs has significantly risen. And people can see it's becoming a better league. People can see that very good talents, even players in their 25, 26, are coming to the league. And they are making it better. Do you know what I mean? They are making the league better, which in turn raises the level. And listen, I think it's a great league. I think it's a great league for young players to come improve themselves and then to go on elsewhere. Or if they want to stay here, improve themselves more, then so be it. In terms of my loans, and if I'm relieved, I am so happy to kind of not be on loan anymore, to finally be rooted to a club. It's difficult, man, going on loan here and there, driving, taking trains and all that other stuff. It takes its toll on you. So being at a club that, I want to be here. I feel loved by everybody here, staff and players included. It feels really good. I mean, it feels really good having a home base. And yeah, I mean, listen, I couldn't be happier.
Last question. Our listeners are extremely interested in positionally where everyone's going to be, and you've been floating everywhere. In fact, when I was following you with the national team, you were mostly an attacker, and so it was interesting. I didn't realize with Miami you were playing as an 8 at times, it seemed if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And so we've seen you play there, several positions with St. Louis, even in friendlies and preseason. So can you tell me where you're comfortable and where you probably will end up be playing with St. Louis, maybe early on, maybe long term?
I'll tell you where I'm comfortable. I don't want to tell you where I could end up playing, just for keeping it secretive. And I'm going to keep this answer really vague because I don't want to give anything away.
Well, and maybe you can even talk about Miami, why they put you in those places.
Yeah.
Maybe that's...
Let's do that. So here, I will play pretty much anywhere that I help the team. I'll just leave it at that. In Miami, they played me more as a inverted winger, or kind of more pinched in, and not really a winger, because I was wide at times, but most of the time they wanted me to be inside on the pocket and kind of turn on my left foot. So they tried to play inverted. And then again, there were times where I played the 8 and I had to kind of track back and defend. Yeah, I mean, I feel so, not old, but I'm 22 now. So all the positions that I think they might play me in, I feel like I have a decent grasp on it. So yeah, I'm just, excited to be here, whatever position I end up playing. I'm just a happy guy at the moment.
Do you know why Miami decided to play you as an 8 mostly?
I think based off personnel, that's where the coaching staff saw me with my qualities that I bring. That's where they wanted to play me. But obviously, every single coaching staff has a different twist on things. So maybe this coaching staff sees me playing different. I do know, but I don't really want to give it away. But yeah, I was happy to play there. Miami's a really good city to live in, and I wish them all the best.